And that's a wrap on Pluribus Season 1 with We're Not Gonna Bury the Lead. I think you and me agree this is the best episode, season finale. El Chica
Yes.
o La Chica o El Mundo, the girl
Yes.
or the world. Do you want to start off and why we love this episode so much?
This episode is the answer to literally almost everything that I had problems with in the middle of the show that weren't really like actual big problems. It was more of like a potential future fear, depending on what they did with stuff. And this episode put those fears to rest for me because this episode got like right down to the nitty gritty of like just actually forwarding the plot and just not messing around with these two characters, being Manousos and Carol, being like kind of like a yin and yang dynamic at this point. Actually, it's very much like Manousos is like, okay, we got to like literally kill all of these creatures. It doesn't matter if like everyone else on the planet dies. Like we just got to get rid of them. And Carol's literally like, I'm dating them. Just like, and then it just becomes this like almost like I don't want to say Hitchcock. What like what's the feel? It's a very like it's kind of weird. Their
Hitchcock's
relationship.
A good one.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Gone Girl. I don't want to spoil Gone Girl. I'm not spoiling Gone Girl, but it reminds me of Gone Girl.
Yeah, very, very Gone Girl coded in a sense.
Yes. This episode is the definition of bros before hoes.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
basically what it boils down to.
I'm so happy that they've decided to go the route that they did with everything, because it literally just changes. It's what I expected probably at the beginning, like kind of like, oh, they're gonna get together and save the world kind of vibe. Like even if you know that, like, but like throughout the entire show so far, it's been very like rocky road on like Carol's decision making and like what she's gonna do, which I feel like is like actually really well written, because she's like going through her own trauma of like losing her wife or girlfriend or whatever, um, and then having to like basically be alone with nobody else on the planet, like minus a few people that essentially hate her. She just like falls Stockholm syndrome for the Pluribus, which I think was their plan all along.
Mm-hmm.
I get, oh, dude, we got to get into the like the details revealed in this episode, because there's like some crazy, like they were all reveals that I was just like kind of guessing was going on, but it was like in a way where I was like, that's really well done, and I'm glad that they waited until this moment to say it, because it turns from kind of like quirky slice of life drama show of just like almost like the world is fucked, but like who cares? I can have sex with a hot pirate girl, to like now you literally have a month and then you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a really cool parallel from like episode to episode.
Mm-hmm. I love this episode because I feel like Manousos and Carol together work so well, and my biggest complaint for the whole season was that it's just kind of Carol by herself, like using grok or whatever, and it's like, you know, it's like it's cool, but like I need some sort of like more human dynamic, like in Breaking Bad, and this literally gave me essentially the same exact relationship between Jesse and Walt in this. Like Carol was channeling Jesse energy so hard, and Manousos was channeling Walt energy so hard. Just like when he throws the phone in the in the sewer
manhole.
Yeah, in the manhole, which is cool because that's like a fear that we all have of just like every time I see a manhole like that, I'm like, what if my phone just fell in there? He throws, like, that's such a Walt move, and Jesse, they Carol the whole time is like, blah, 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 just going off this tirade, like, you know, like it reminded me of his hot dogs rant at Fly, where he's like, yo, hot dogs. I love hot dogs. And then Manousos is just like not having it. Like, it reminded me of their dynamic, especially in that episode, The Fly, where Manousos is like, no, like, there are going to be cameras everywhere, where he's super like stingy and specific, and he's like, we have to talk in the car. He's like, give me an umbrella so they can't see me. We can't talk in your house. And then Carol's like, what the, like, come on, man. Like, so that was great. It was so good to finally have them meet up. That's clearly what they were building towards. And I was waiting for the conflict of Manousos is just so gung-ho about get these things out of here. And then Carol is like, yes, like I don't want to be turned by them, but at the same time, like, you know,
she's like
pirate
she
lady's
loves them
hot,
essentially.
so. Yeah, exactly.
Which is, I mean, they basically say it. She says it without saying it. She was basically just like, you're my," and then she's gonna be like girlfriend or like partner or whatever.
I thought she was just gonna say like, "You're mine." Like, you are mine.
That could be the case too.
Yeah,
because she's
that
like
was a great
jealous
scene
that
because that was a great scene because that shows like what's going on in Carol's mind right now. Like,
she thinks that they only care about her, and she's being very selfish about that.
She keeps getting reminded that, like, because she just keeps thinking of, like, oh, like, and, like, that would happen to all of us. Like, you're basically in a relationship, and then it's basically like you have an AI girlfriend, and then, like, your AI girlfriend...
You're
like,
one
after,
guy
like,
dating...
Your AI girlfriend, after, like, 3 months of like...
What you think is, like, the most romantic relationship. It's like, I've also been sleeping with Jeff and Fred and, like... Cassie on the street.
After like 3 months you're like, it feels real, and then your AI is like, oh, by the way, I'm just doing this because like that's what you programmed me to do. So then she was like, I'm about to say you're mine, and then she realizes like, oh shit, you're not mine. So it's like great that like you can feel the conflict in Carol, like of like why she's going back and forth, and like we could all see ourselves in that. You know what I mean? Of like, you know, like even like getting to like a toxic relationship of like, I know this person's bad for me, but I can't stop coming back, and you keep coming back, and then your mind like hears something good, and then you're like, oh no, so maybe this is gonna work. And then you know, that person like drops to like, oh, by the way, we're still friends or something, and then you get that sudden realization of like, ah, fuck. And then we have the whole end of the episode, which was beautifully shot, and the amazing piano music, and that was cool too because that was such a is antithesis the word I'm looking for? Contrast like with contrast with the first part of the episode, because the first part of the episode was like goofy Breaking Bad Walt and Jesse, and the last part of the episode was like reminded me of the episode Granite State from Breaking Bad near the end, where it's much more like meditative and stuff like that, and the solitude in it. And I just love this episode. It was if anything, this episode was like season 2 is gonna be fucking banging. Like season 2 is gonna be awesome.
The whole season felt like Carol as a character was like basically trying to like live inside of a TV show of being a dark comedy. And then this episode, finding out stuff, was like, I'm not living in a dark comedy, I'm living in a fucking horror movie. Yep. Like, it's not like fun, cute rainbows of like, haha, they're eating human flesh. It's, oh my god, they're eating human flesh, and within a month, I'm gonna be dead. Yep. And it's like, and it also, I think, contrasts really well to her depression throughout the entire show. Because she basically has just like a, I don't really care what happens vibe about her, even though she cares to an extent about humanity, obviously. But she also is just like doesn't really care if she lives or dies in some capacity, because she literally like blows up a firework like directly at her skull at one point, and then like there's quite a few lines of where she's just like having inner conflict of like if she even like wants to try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel like
this whole season. I mean, we can slowly transition into like a season 1 review, unless you want to save that for a separate video, but.
Continue.
I was just gonna say that like this whole season for me started off zombie show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it went to Invasion of the Body Snatchers / The Thing. Then it was the Truman Show for a while. For most of the season, it felt like the Truman Show. And now at the very end, it's like Hitchcock, Gone Girl, thriller.
Yeah, this show gives me a lot of Last Man on Earth vibes, starring God, what's his name? I forget his name. Last Man on Earth.
I haven't seen that, but you've told me about it.
Will Forte.
Sounds similar to the Truman Show. Have you seen the Truman Show with Jim Carrey?
No.
It's really good. He's basically like in a he thinks he's living in the real world, but he's on a television show, and everyone around him is an actor. So
interesting.
yeah.
Actually, this is kind of imagine Last Man on Earth is Pluribus with him and a few survivors minus the Pluribus and everyone else is dead, and it's like a dark comedy. It's really I didn't watch the last season of it because I fell off it because it was like when I think we moved houses and I didn't have like cable at the time to like go back and rewatch it. And it hasn't been on streaming services, and the first like 2 seasons were like fucking really good. But it gives me massive like this season gives me massive Last Man on Earth vibes. It's like it's obviously fucked, but it's like so fucked that it's kind of funny. We're just like kind of like will you give me a grenade launcher if I ask for it? And they're like, here you go, Carol. I don't know. It's so, just
we love this episode, and I think this episode just cemented the fact that you and I fucking love Manousos, dude. This dude's awesome. What a Chad.
I think we should talk about that. Manousos essentially kind of starts off as like the survivor like prepper type, which he definitely absolutely is. But I feel like his character exists to be the everyman. Like, he is supposed to be us. Like, Carol, you go in thinking, like, Carol's supposed to be us for a bit at the beginning. But then she starts making some, like, kind of questionable decisions where she's, like, kind of just, like, falling in love with the Pluribus people. And we're like, ooh, that seems a little weird. And that's not bad writing either. That's good writing because it makes sense because of her mental state that she would be, like, doing that. But Manousos is literally just like us in the audience being like, "Don't! What are you doing? That's like literally a creature. Like you're insane. Like they're human beings, hopefully still on the other side of the invasion of the body snatchers type thing."
I almost feel like it's like Manousos and Carol are like the two sides of a person. Like there's the Manousos.
Yeah, they're literally yin and yang in a good way.
Yeah. That like knows like, oh man, like I gotta stop eating fast food, I gotta start working out, I gotta go to bed early, I gotta wake up early, I gotta get some work done, I gotta, practice my instrument for me. And Carol's the person who's like, I'm just gonna drink whiskey every day and I love Pirate Lady. And that's all I want.
Carol's like, I'm gonna stop at home and get a 20-piece chicken McNugget from McDonald's, and Medusa's like, you're gonna die.
And I'm gonna wash it down with vodka.
Yeah, Medusa's like, you're gonna die, dude.
Yeah, Manousos is like, I am gonna start a farm and make all my own food and like only eat grass-fed cows and like, I have a machete and if you come after my family, like I'll kill you. And then Carol's just like, hey, do you want to drink whiskey, eat potato chips, and like watch? I don't know, whatever show. I don't know.
I feel like
wasn't she watching some sort of like show
Golden Girls
earlier?
or something or in the first episode or one of those types of shows. I can't remember. I feel like a good push-pull relationship dynamic to the characters growing in this episode was interesting because you have Manousos starting off at the very beginning being like a very traditional kind of guy, where he's just like, even if the apocalypse happened, I'm not gonna steal anything. I'm not gonna like loot and do all this other shit. Like he's literally eating like canned like dog food that he had or cat food or something. But then towards the end / middle of this episode, 8 episodes later or however many, he gets the ambulance and brings it, and then he's having like a debate with Carol, like I can't stay here. This isn't my house. And then she's just like, is this your ambulancia? I think she calls it. And then he's just like, It was like actually good character writing. Yeah, good character writing because it literally started off with him like literally being like, no, it's wrong to do this. I'm not going to do this. To like a few episodes, like last episode was the hospital one where he gets saved by the Pluribi. It's just like, okay, now I'm going to like hold them hostage. I'm going to steal an ambulance and then like kind of like gradually be like, oh, maybe it is okay to survive in this world that is the way it is. Yeah. I don't know. And Carol's the opposite where she's... Yeah, continue.
No,
Sorry.
you finish. I was
gonna say Carol's the exact opposite, where she's like started off like super like, bro, I'm gonna kill everyone involved. Like she was like literally ready to fucking murder everyone. And then they're just like, oh, dude, you're genociding our people. Like every time you like piss us off or whatever. And then she like goes the exact opposite Stockholm syndrome, which is like, oh, I actually love you. Yeah, it's just like, it's good. It's great character writing, but
I also think it's Manousos is like, or Carol is like when you have an idea and you're like, oh, we should do this, blah, blah, blah. But then you don't actually go through with it. Manousos is like going through when you go through with something. Because Carol is immediately like, oh, we got to destroy these things. We got to save humanity. But then she leans into the, like, convenience of it. And
Yep.
she's like, okay, well,
Carol,
you know, like she wants to save the world, but she just leans into, you know, just like getting them to deliver them stuff, you know, falling in love with one of them. She needs the connection when they all leave for 40 days. She freaks out and she's like, come back.
Yep.
So she wants to save the world, but she doesn't actually go through with it. Manousos,
she doesn't want to have the repercussions of killing the Pluribi people.
Yeah, Manousos is the one who he's like, when you actually go through with something and you're like, no, I'm gonna do this and I'm actually gonna do it. I'm not just gonna talk about it. You know what I mean?
Manousos is becoming the Carol.
We need Manousos to edit our videos, basically.
True. Manousos at the end of season, or the start of the season and towards the end, is becoming Carol Sturka episode 1 of the season, where he's like, because there's an interesting parallel, right? Because halfway through the first season, Carol drugs one of the Pluribus people, drugs Zosia, and then basically like almost kills her, and then it kills like a few million people. Mm-hmm. And then this episode, to get information the same way, Carol, the exact same thing, like essentially, he did, and she pulls a shotgun on him, shoots, and then says, "You're a psychopath. I will kill you," or whatever. Is a very interesting like dynamic change of how it's almost like projecting, because she literally did the exact same thing at the beginning, but now she's just like unwilling to do that. She's kind of like reverse Walking Dead almost. She like starts off being like a Shane, and then like towards the end of season 1, she's just like kind of like Herschel in season 2, where she's like, they're all still alive. We could save them. Don't touch them. Yep.
That's what I was gonna bring up. I was like, do you want to talk about the Manousos scene with the radio frequency? When he
that might be my. There's so many great episodes. Great
during the
scenes
shotgun blast. I fucking jumped.
I literally was just like
my speakers up, because this is the first time we watched this like early in the morning, or like I guess afternoon. So I was like, okay, well I can crank my speakers up, and then I fucking jumped.
I literally was like, Josh, just so you know, something loud's about to happen. He's about to get stabbed or something. And then you didn't say anything, because I was just like fucking running my mouth, and then just boom. So Josh like, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I was like,
so. Can you explain the radio frequency?
The radio frequency? Can I explain it?
That was earlier, right? So he found
in the first or second episode.
The radio. He was going. No, it was more like the 4th, 5th, or 6th. Third. He was going through like the radio frequencies, right? And that's the only one that he found that had something on it. But I forget what was on it. And that somehow is connecting. He's trying to use that to get them back to what they were, but I'm not sure the connection
he was
between
using
the
as
radio frequency and that. I don't know.
I'm assuming it's trying to like, maybe the virus exists on some kind of literal wavelength with like the radio tapping into like the actual person, because he was like, when the radio station was going off, he was basically like, hey Ryan, I know you're still in Rick. There, we're trying to fix this for you, like, or Rick, not Ryan, we'll fucking sort this out for you, we'll fix it up, and we'll try to save you and whatever. So I feel like, I don't know if we've had a direct answer about that. I could just be like too low IQ to understand. I'm not too I'm not a real Rick and Morty fan to really understand like the wavelength thing, but maybe it was answered. Okay. But to me,
I just wasn't sure if there was like an obvious answer that I wasn't thinking of.
I don't think so. My theory is now that I think that the Pluribus people in some capacity are allowed to mislead or lie. I think. I could be very wrong about this. But it would make sense.
I think you are wrong, because at the end, Zosia
she doesn't answer the question.
Yeah, she was like, "Is there a new way?" And she didn't answer. Mm-hmm. So I still don't think they can lie. But you want to talk about that scene now? Like, that's probably the last big scene. Is beautiful snowy environments, by the way. But
and again, the fucking contrast between beautiful like honeymoon, essentially, like she's basically just dating and banging her pirate AI girlfriend, and then they're just like, so what do you think about the weather? And then and then she's just like, well, anyways, we'll be killing you within a month. It's like, oh, yep, okay, yeah, so fucking kill the mood, asshole.
So basically they found a new way that we saw in the beginning to use gas instead. And they have her stem cells because of her frozen eggs, which thank you for pointing that out for me, because I missed that. Mm-hmm. So now they don't need her consent because they have her. They need a consent to get her stem cells, not to actually transform her. They have her stem cells, so she has about a month, and that's what makes her flip. And she calls it a care package, and she gets the nuke, and we're off, baby. Season 2.
Yep, literally, fucking calls in an atom bomb. So my guess is that that's gonna be the failsafe. Like, essentially, if she's about to get infected, like, it doesn't matter at this point. Just like fucking blow us all up. I don't care. Just atom bomb shit.
Knowing Vince Gilligan, he just wrote the atom bomb thing and was like, "We're gonna just deal with that later." Like the machine gun in Walt's car. He's like, "Well, we'll just figure out." Like,
knowing
miraculously,
Vince
like if you listen to like a lot of the podcasts and stuff and interviews with Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad, he would just like write shit. Like he would do the opposite of what you're supposed to do as a writer. He would just be like, okay, so Walt's gonna have a machine gun in his trunk, and I'm not gonna explain this until I have to. He's like, he would just make shit up then fix it.
He's a pantser. Which is but that's how I write too. It's very fun. You basically have to like write yourself into. It can fuck you sometimes, but you have to like write yourself into a corner and then just be like, invent some insane way for this to work out in a way that's believable.
Yeah, but if you're a good writer, you can always pull it off. If you
and I think Vince Gilligan's really good.
The Star Wars sequels, you don't.
We're gonna gain some fucking enemies in the last 2 episodes of this series.
Josh and Tenney try not to mention Disney Star Wars for 5 seconds challenge.
I know.
Anyways,
well, maybe one day in the future, Disney will be bought out by fucking Netflix or something, and then it'll be Netflix's Star Wars, and they can ruin it all over again.
Let's go. I give this episode a 9.1.
9.1 out of 10, huh? Okay. I think that I will give it. I'll give it a 9.1 as well. I think that's pretty good.
Didn't you give the last episode a 9.3 though?
That is true. I'm gonna take the last episode down to an 8.9. I'm gonna put this one to a 9.6.
9. You just went from 9.1 to a 9.6.
Yeah, because my numbers were miscalculated. Also, numbers mean literally nothing. It means listen to our words. This could literally be the best episode of television you ever watch. It could be the worst thing you've ever watched. It's all subjective. Nobody cares about numbers. If you do, then just like
except Mason. Okay. Number rating for the whole season.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
8.5. If I'm thinking if this was on Letterboxd, I would probably give it a 4, but I would be like, it's leaning more towards a 4.5. Like it's a strong 4, light 4.5. Like it's leaning towards a 4.5, not a 3.5. But I think 4 out of 5, it would be my rating. You know what I mean?
Man. Overall this season. Oh, Josh, don't do this to me, man. I love the first season. But I would probably stick around a 7.9 or an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
It's really good. It's a very...
I don't think any of the episodes you gave below an 8, except maybe one of them. So I feel like 8 or just based on the numbers you've given before, it would have to be like 8 to 9, around that range. That's why I gave it.
Yeah, but I feel like it's different in the sense of like with the entire show as the season as a whole, though. Like
it is.
And also, I'm gonna be honest. We ad-libbed these fucking reviews, so like we're just going off of like our instant reaction. True. My review could change. I honestly would have to rewatch it at some point. But I think overall, my feeling of the show right now, if I'm like, hey friend, do you want to watch Pluribus? They're like, what do you think you'd give it out of 10? Like, probably like a 7.9 to 8. It's a strong 8. It's like, yeah, you should watch this. It's really good television. But do I suggest that you go out and buy Apple TV right this second for it?
Oh, yeah. We immediately, we finished this episode, and before we started recording, we both canceled Apple TV.
Well, I tried to, but I logged into my account, and it was just like, we logged you in, but it's a little suspicious. So we're going to lock your account, change your password. It's like, okay, change password. And then they're like, we may have to wait up to a few days to change that for you. And then they took my credit card information again, and they're like, we'll email you in 24 hours with an update. And I was like, it's not worth it. I'm just going to record.
Yep.
Fucking. So what? Honestly, instead of doing streaming, I would wait for this to get like a Blu-ray release, and then I'd just like watch it on there, like a DVD release, and just like that's the way to do it. You'll own it forever. You don't have to pay per month, and it's like actually pretty good.
I would actually say wait till season 2 comes out, and then pay for like 1 month of Apple TV and binge both seasons. That's what I would
agree with that. But the problem with that though is this video might be. I mean, it'll be relevant then, but this might be like 2 years from now. From who knows how long it's gonna take them to.
I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah, I absolutely, dude. I'm almost upset at the show because this episode got like me reinvigorated into like really being like I want to watch the next episode, but knowing that we're essentially going to get blue-balled for the next minimum year, I'm like.
I mean, just for the viewers, I don't think we need to do a season 1 separate video. I think we pretty much.
I don't think so. Unless it literally takes them 2 years to get season 2 out, then we'll do it then and rewatch.
Yeah.
But I don't think if it's like a year.
Last thing I was gonna bring up is like predictions for season 2.
Season 2 predictions. I really hope that we get a lot more espionage from Carol and
Manousos.
Manousos, yes, thank you. Sorry, my fucking brain died. And I hope that we start getting another Pluribus body count. I also think that we will get one person, I think, maybe by the end of season 2, maybe earlier. If they are to be able to be saved, I think we'll have one converted back to being human.
I think so too. Do you think that other guy, the James Bond guy, which I also didn't put this together, but second time they've referenced James Bond.
Yeah, they did. I think.
Do you think he's gonna like? They're gonna try to not convert him, like convert him opinion wise to help Manousos and Carol. You think?
I think so, but cool. I think it'll go in the opposite way, where I think he might like the role play and sex and stuff too much, to where he just doesn't care about them and might side with the Pluribus people. What the fuck? Well, shots fired. Jesus Christ.
Cool.
Denied those allegations.
So probably more action in season 2, which I'm usually not the kind of guy who's like, dude, I need more action. Give me more action. But like, I feel like
they literally said we're to kill you in a month. Like, if season 2 starts off with Carol literally blowing off Zosia's head with a shotgun, I'd be like, okay, we're in it. Like, it needs to be. I think there needs to be like a crazy jump, because it went from like, haha, dark comedy, like my wife is dead, everything's fucked, ha tee, to like we're literally gonna kill you in a month. Like, I feel like drastic action needs to be taken in the next season to show that they're not like fucking around. But
do you think anyone's gonna die next season?
Pluribus wise, 100%. Yeah, I think Zosia's cooked, because I think she's like the last like human part that Carol thinks is human. She like treats her like differently than the other, like the actual unit of Pluribus. And we also had that moment in the last episode, 2 episodes ago, I guess now, when she was like kind of Zosia again for an actual second, where she's just like, back when I was a child, and then she's just like fucking zoning out, kind of like
she did say I once this episode. She said we first and then changed it to I.
Yeah, but it felt very AI in the I hate using the connection to AI, because it's like she's just like,
no, I like it. I feel like it makes the show almost more relevant.
Like it. I agree. I like it a lot, but it's like, in terms of like the social, like, I feel like people are gonna like glaze it too hard, or the exact opposite, to where instead of like treating it just like, they're gonna be like, oh, it's the AI show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think it's almost the perfect storm in a good way, because Vince Gilligan said he didn't write it for AI, but
which is
so
hilarious,
it's like so it's like it gets rid of the like finger wagging, or like the
like
it's not preachy, but it still gets the point across. He's not
soapboxing,
but it still gets the point across like perfectly, like unintentionally. Like he unintentionally made like maybe the most relevant like commentary of our current situation, because it's just gonna get even more crazier. So like this, I think this show's gonna age incredibly well.
I agree.
You know I agree. So he almost did the same exact thing with Breaking Bad. Like he wrote Breaking Bad like not intending to do like any sort of like commentary. He just was like, what if this guy was like, made drugs? Haha, it's funny. And then it just ended up having all these themes in it that like just what I mean? Like so many people get different things from it.
Yeah. Breaking Bad also I feel like almost spawned like it didn't actually spawn the genre, but it spawned the new TV like trend of creating a movie or show with a big anti-hero character that you're kind of like rooting for, but also not.
It did. That was another big part. You're right. I mean, Sopranos really did it first, but
I'm not. They weren't the first, but it was definitely like one of those like more modern. Even though I don't want to call Sopranos older, but I mean technically it is.
It is older. 1999.
Yeah. So
which I think Vince Gilligan has straight up said that like he was heavily inspired by The Sopranos.
All art is derivative or whatever the quote is. It's like fucking this show or episode is somehow derivative of like fucking Power Rangers or something. I don't know.
I mean, Pluribus is obviously has so many influences. I just mentioned like 5 of them, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Thing, Truman Show, all that. And then Breaking Bad, obviously, Sopranos. Scarface is a huge one, which is very obvious because there's like 4 actors from Scarface in Breaking Bad.
Pluribus gives me
Godfather, obviously. And then Better Call Saul has a bunch of them too. Like there's a whole montage with all the things from Better Call Saul. The Sting.
Pluribus.
That's a big one.
Yeah, The Sting. I think Pluribus to me feels like a massive Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure.
In a good way.
Yeah, I love the Twilight Zone. Anyways.
Great show.
Yeah, we did it. I know we were a little late.
We watched the show. It was really good. I massively recommend you watch it. Either wait until season 2 is over to rent it on eBay. On eBay. Oh god. I mean, probably a better service. Rent it on Apple or whatever, or if they are kind enough to make a fucking Blu-ray or DVD set of this, just buy that and like own it forever, because physical media, baby. But it's also streaming. Like Stranger Things from Netflix is like the #1 show in the world, and they fucking stopped making DVDs after like season 2, so we're cooked.
Yeah. I know we're a little late finishing this, but it's kind of like, imagine if you watched a review of Breaking Bad season 1 from like 2008. Like, it's still pretty close.
Yeah. It's these reviews and things like that, discussions, exist in a capsule where people 10 years in the future could come back like not knowing, because there are people like this that exist, including myself in some cases, where they'll be like, I wonder what people were thinking around this time when this show came out, like about the show, and then like kind of compare it to modern shit. Anyways.
For sure.
Enjoy the episodes, guys. I think we did pretty good predicting some things in the season. I think it was a really fun time, and I want to do more shows and movies like this.
Mm-hmm. Cool. There we go. If you have any shows you want us to watch, let us know.
And if it's a Star Wars show, please, I beg you not to let us watch it.
Well, Andor is apparently incredible, so.
I've heard good things about Andor, but like, I don't know. It's like trying to love modern Star Wars is like me as Carol trying to like fall in love with Pirate Lady. I know it's incredibly toxic for me, and I know at some point she's gonna kill my ass, but like, damn, is there some really good aspects to Pirate Lady or Star Wars?
Yeah. Anyways. See you all later.
We're cooked, chat.